All right, you ready? Today I've got some stuff that'll keep you on edge. Drop a like and subscribe if you want more. Let's get into it. I, 26-year-old female, think a guy at my gym has been copying my exact schedule for months, and I just found out how he knows it. This one came out of r/Let's Not Meet, 3 days ago, posted by a user called Fit and Free Eked Out. And let me just say, the title alone had people clicking, but the post itself goes somewhere none of them were ready for. She opens it the way a lot of these posts do, casual, almost downplaying it, but pay attention to the details. I, 26-year-old female, am a creature of habit. I have been going to the same gym for over a year now, same time every day, same rotation of machines, same order. Monday through Friday, I am there at 6 p.m., except Wednesdays when I switch to mornings because of my work schedule. About 6 months ago, I started noticing this guy. He was always on the machine right next to mine. Not across the room, not two down, directly next to me, every single time. I told myself it was a coincidence. People have routines. But something kept bugging me, so I started tracking it in my head. He matched my schedule perfectly. Not just the days, the exact times, the same machines, even my weird Wednesday morning swap. So I tested it. I rearranged my entire weekly layout. Different days, different times, different machine order. Within 48 hours, he adjusted. Every change matched. I told my friend Jess, who works in IT, and she said to check whether any unknown accounts had access to my Google ecosystem. I went through every permission, every shared app, every connected account, and then I found it. A shared Google Calendar I never created, titled with my full legal first and last name. Inside was my gym schedule, my work hours, my commute times, what days I go to the grocery store and which one. Updated regularly, shared with 3 email addresses I have never seen in my life. And that is where this post stops. Hands shaking, staring at a screen full of her own life laid out in perfect detail by someone she has never spoken a single word to. 3 email addresses she does not recognize. A calendar titled with her legal name that she did not create. And a man at her gym who somehow knows exactly where she is going to be before she decides to go there. This is just the beginning. After finding that calendar with her full name on it, OP does not sleep, and she does not call anyone. Not yet. She does something that turns out to be absolutely critical for everything that comes after. And honestly, it might be the only reason this story does not end worse than it does. First thing I did was screenshot everything. Every entry on that calendar. Every email it was shared with. All 3 of them. Backed it all up to a flash drive. Then I tried tracing the addresses, but they were all burner accounts. Random letter strings at Proton Mail and Tutanota. No profiles, nothing. Dead ends. After that, I started actually looking at the gym guy. Average build, maybe 5'10", always in a dark baseball cap pulled low. He never made direct eye contact with me, not once. But he was always right there, one machine over, sitting in my peripheral vision like he wanted to be close without being noticed. And then it hit me. He had never spoken to me, not once in all those months. Never said hi, never nodded, never introduced himself. I asked the front desk about him. They told me he had been a member for about 10 months. I have been going there over a year. He joined 2 months after me. He did not just happen to pick my gym. He chose it because I was already there. My sister and my friend both said the same thing. Document everything. Do not confront him. So I started going at random times, different days, skipping whole weeks. He stopped showing up when I did. For about a week, I genuinely thought it was over. Then one morning, I came out to my car and the driver's seat was pushed forward. I keep it all the way back. I live alone. Nobody else drives my car. And right there is where this shifts. Because up until now, you could almost tell yourself this was all digital. Someone sitting in her accounts, watching from behind a screen. But the car changes everything. That is someone standing in her parking lot. That is someone opening her door, sitting in her seat. She lives alone. Nobody else has a key to that car. There is no other explanation for that seat being moved. And wherever this story goes next, it is not going somewhere safe. For a while, nothing happened. And that quiet almost made it worse. My friend convinced me to get a dash cam for my car and one of those Ring doorbell cameras from my apartment. I set them both up on a Sunday and told myself if nothing showed up in a week, I would let this go. Monday through Friday, nothing. No movement on either camera. He didn't show up at the gym when I went at random times. I started to feel stupid, like maybe I had built this entire thing up in my head and the car seat thing was just me misremembering. I almost took the dash cam down. Saturday morning, I was scrolling through footage just to clear the storage, and I stopped on Thursday night's file. 3:14 a.m. A figure walks into frame in my parking garage. Baseball cap. Same build. He walks a slow circle around my car, tries the driver door handle, then the passenger side, then just stands there for maybe 30 seconds looking at the windshield. He couldn't see the dash cam, it was hidden behind the mirror. I watched him do this twice more on the footage from Friday and Saturday night. I went to the police that afternoon. They were nice. They took the footage. They said without a direct threat or an attempt to make contact, they couldn't do much beyond filing a report. I sat in my car in the station parking lot and cried for 20 minutes. And that's when the comments started putting something together that OP hadn't. The fact that he adjusts within 48 hours when you change your routine means he has another way of finding out. Is there any chance he has access to your phone or a tracking app? I had my phone checked after someone else suggested this. Nothing showed up. No unknown apps, no tracking profiles. But here's what I didn't put in the post because I wasn't sure if it mattered. He parks next to me in the lot. Every single time. Even when the lot is almost empty. I think he might have something on my car. I'm getting it checked tomorrow, and I feel sick typing this. The shared calendar thing is genuinely one of the most terrifying things I've ever read on here. That's not a crush. That's a project. I work in law enforcement. The fake name on the gym membership is a massive red flag. This person has done this before. Please take this seriously and document everything. Every habit she had was a data point. Every routine was a map. And someone had been drawing it for months. So OP goes quiet for a bit. Then she comes back with an update post that changes everything. He joined my new gym, and I don't think the police can help me. So I put up the doorbell camera like people suggested. For the first few days, nothing. I almost took it down. Then I checked the footage from last Thursday, and my stomach dropped. It was him. Standing outside my door at 2:14 a.m., just standing there, not knocking, not trying the handle, just facing my door like he was waiting for something. I went back through 2 weeks of footage and found 4 separate nights where he did the exact same thing. Sometimes he'd stay for 5 minutes, sometimes close to 20. Then he'd just turn around and leave. I brought the timestamps to the police, and they finally took it seriously. The officer ran the name from his gym membership, and that's when things got really bad. The name isn't real. It doesn't match any person in any system they checked. The address on file is a vacant lot on the edge of town. He used a fake ID to sign up. The officer told me straight up, without a real identity, they can't serve a restraining order on someone who doesn't exist on paper. They escalated it, but I could tell they didn't have answers. I'm staying with my sister now. I don't know who this person actually is. I don't know how many times he stood outside my door before I had the camera. The comments on this one were brutal. I had to put my phone down reading this. The standing outside your door at 2 a.m. and just leaving is somehow worse than if you tried to break in. It means he's patient. That's exactly what makes this profile so dangerous. The ones who stand and leave are rehearsing. They're building comfort with the location, testing how close they can get without consequences. Every visit where nothing happens reinforces that there are no barriers. Please tell me you've told your gym's front desk. They need to pull his membership immediately and flag his photo for staff. And there's one question nobody in that thread can let go of. 3 email addresses were on that calendar. OP still has no idea who they belong to. And then, a few days later, OP came back one last time with an update post. And honestly, it reads like a goodbye. He joined my new gym, and I don't think the police can help me. I got the restraining order, It was filed against the name on his gym membership, which, as you all know, is fake. Police confirmed they have been unable to locate him at any real address tied to that identity. The name, the ID, the address, none of it leads anywhere. He is essentially a ghost on paper. The restraining order exists, but there is nobody real to serve it to. So I did everything I could. I changed gyms. I broke my lease, ate the penalty, and moved to a new apartment across town. New phone number, I even traded in my car for something different. For 3 weeks, it was quiet. I slept through the night for the first time in months. I started feeling like maybe I had actually outrun this. Then, 3 days ago, I checked the sign-in sheet at my new gym. Someone registered 3 days after I did. I am not going to describe him. I am not going to say what I saw. I think he found me again. I am done posting. I am deleting this account tonight. If you do not hear from me again, just know I tried everything right. I did everything you all told me to do. It was not enough. Her account went dark right after that. And the comments? They hit different on this one. 3 other email addresses on that calendar. 3! That means either he's sharing your schedule with other people or he has multiple accounts tracking you. Both options are nightmare fuel. And that is what makes this one sit with you. It was never one big dramatic threat. No confrontation, no chase scene. Just the slow, quiet erosion of safety inside your own routine. Every habit you repeat is a pattern. Every pattern is a map. And some people are drawing that map without you ever knowing. But that is not the only time someone's daily routine turned into a trap, because this next post starts with a woman noticing the same car parked outside her office every morning for 6 months. My girlfriend, 26-year-old female, has been updating my phone while I sleep, and I finally checked what she actually installed. This next one starts quiet. Just a guy, his girlfriend, and a phone charging on the nightstand every night. The kind of thing you wouldn't think twice about. You should. OP, 28-year-old male, posted this on r/relationship advice 3 days ago. 2 years deep into what he genuinely believed was a healthy, normal relationship. So I, 28-year-old male, have been with my girlfriend, 26-year-old female, for about 2 years now. Up until recently, I would have told you things were great, like genuinely great. She's attentive, she remembers the small stuff, she's the type to grab your phone at night and go, "Hey, let me run your updates while you sleep." And I thought that was sweet. She's way more tech-savvy than me, so I never once questioned it. Every morning I'd wake up and she'd hand me my phone back with a smile, say something like, "All good, babe, you had a big one overnight." And that was that. But a few weeks ago, my battery started dying way faster than usual. Weird lag too, apps loading slow, my phone running hot even when I wasn't using it. I figured it was just getting old, but one night I couldn't sleep, so I decided to actually dig through my settings. I went into accessibility and found 3 apps I had never installed or seen before. 2 were location sharing services running in the background. The third was a full-screen mirroring tool. All 3 had full device permissions: camera, microphone, GPS, contacts, messages, everything. My hands were shaking, but I kept going. I pulled up the admin log on one of the location apps and checked when it was first activated. 11 months ago. We had only been together 3 months at that point. No fights, no trust issues, no jealousy, nothing. She started tracking every single thing on my phone before we ever had our first real disagreement. 3 months in. The relationship was brand new. No red flags, no fights, no jealousy, and she had already built a full surveillance setup running silently on his phone. Not because something went wrong, just because she wanted to know everything. And that right there is just the beginning of this one. So OP has found the apps, 3 of them, buried deep, running silent. But finding them was just the beginning, because now he starts digging into what they actually recorded. And that is where this story gets under your skin. I started going through each app one by one. The first was a screen mirroring tool, not the kind you use to cast Netflix to your TV. This one ran completely hidden. No icon, no notification, nothing in my app drawer. The activity log showed it had been capturing my screen in real time and sending everything to another device. Every text I typed, every photo I opened, every search I made, All of it mirrored live. The second app pinged my GPS every 2 minutes. I scrolled through the location history and there were thousands of data points stretching back months. The third had full access to my camera and microphone. I sat on the bathroom floor at 3 in the morning just staring at my phone, trying to make it make sense. Then I started rewinding everything. Every morning she handed my phone back with that little smile. All updated, babe. Every time she somehow knew where I was without me telling her. I texted my buddy about trying a new ramen spot downtown, and that same night she casually mentioned wanting to try ramen. I thought we were just in sync. She would bring up conversations I only ever had over text like they were common knowledge between us. She finished my sentences about plans I had barely even made. That night I got back in bed next to her. She was asleep, breathing all soft and steady, and I just lay there staring at the ceiling. The person beside me felt like someone I had never actually met. Every sweet thing she ever did was rewriting itself in my head in real time. I did not confront her. I needed to understand how deep this went before I said a single word. That last part is what stays with me. He is lying inches away from someone who has been watching his every move for months, and he cannot even recognize her anymore. The person he fell for and the person running those apps, they cannot both be real. One of them was a performance. So instead of blowing up, OP makes a call. He stays quiet, keeps his routine normal, does not tip her off. He wants the full picture before he makes any kind of move. And honestly, after hearing what comes next, he was absolutely right to wait. This is where OP stops reacting and starts building a case. I started screenshotting everything. Every app, every permission, every admin log entry with timestamps going back months. Saved it all to a folder on my work laptop she didn't know about. Then I decided to run a test. I texted my buddy Jake. "Hey man, you free Friday? Thinking about hitting that new bar across town." Completely made up. Within 20 minutes, she walks into the living room and goes, "Hey, what if we just do a cozy night in on Friday?" I felt my stomach drop. She said it so casual, like it just came to her. But I knew. Living like that is its own kind of horror. You sit across from someone at dinner and she is smiling at you, and you know she read every text you sent that day. She knows where you went, what you searched, who you called, and you just have to smile back. My friends told me not to confront her. Just delete the apps quietly and see how she reacts. So Wednesday afternoon, while she was at the gym, I went through my phone and factory deleted all 3 apps, cleared every permission, revoked every access point, put my phone back on the nightstand, and waited. The comments on this one came in hot. 11 months. She was planning this before you even had your first argument. That's not insecurity, that's predatory behavior. I'm a DV counselor, and this is textbook coercive control with a tech-enabled layer. The charging your phone routine is something we're seeing more and more. Please document everything. Brother, I work in mobile security. If she cloned your SIM, she potentially has access to your 2FA codes, banking alerts, everything. Change every password you have. Today. This is what's keeping me up at night. I checked my bank app, and there were 2 logins from a device I didn't recognize back in January. Nothing was taken, but she was in there. I've already changed everything, and my bank flagged the old session, but I keep finding more. She had access to my work email, too. 2 years, and I handed her my phone every single night like it was nothing. And that is where this part leaves off. So OP went quiet for a few days after pulling those apps off his phone, and then he came back with an update post that changed everything. I moved out while she was at work, and she's already found my new number, so I deleted the apps like I said I would. 3 hours, that is all it took. She didn't text me asking why something looked different on my phone. She didn't check the phone at all. What she did was show up at my job, walked right into the lobby, visibly shaking, eyes red, asking the receptionist where I was. I met her in the parking lot and she immediately started crying. She said she knew I removed them. I asked how. She said because my location went dark on her end. She got an automatic alert the second my GPS stopped transmitting. Then she told me something I was not ready for. She had cloned my SIM card months ago. Every single text I sent or received, she was reading in real time on a second device she kept in her purse. I just stood there in that parking lot, not even knowing what to say. When I asked her why, she broke down and said her ex did the same thing to her, and she needed to know I wasn't like him. She said she was traumatized. She begged me to understand. And honestly, for about 10 seconds, I almost did. Then, 3 days later, a mutual friend hit me up and told me the ex she described, he doesn't exist. Never did. She made the whole thing up. There was no abusive ex. There was no past trauma that started this. This is just who she is. That fabricated ex detail hit like a truck. No origin story, no justification. Just control from the very beginning. And the comment section absolutely ripped this apart. The fact that she panicked because the tracking stopped and not because you confronted her tells you everything. Her first instinct was to locate you, not to talk to you. This is the detail that made my stomach drop. She didn't even pretend to have a normal reason for showing up at his job. She just needed eyes on him again the second the digital leash broke. That's not love. That's a handler losing signal on an asset. The SIM cloning is genuinely criminal in most states. Please tell me you've talked to a lawyer and not just Reddit. OP came back one last time with a final update. I moved out while she was at work and she's already found my new number. I waited until she left for work on a Tuesday morning, packed everything I could fit into my car, factory reset my phone right there at the kitchen table, and drove straight to the carrier store to get a new number. I was gone before noon. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. Within 3 days, she was texting my new number. I still don't know how she got it. Then came the calls from numbers I didn't recognize, rotating burners, all hours of the night. Fake Instagram accounts started messaging my friends, asking where I was staying. She even got a mutual friend to call me pretending to check in, and I heard her voice in the background feeding him questions. I filed the police report and started the process for a restraining order. My lawyer says the surveillance apps and the SIM cloning give us a strong case. I am not going to update again after this. I just wanted people to know. If you are reading this and something feels off with your phone, trust that feeling. Don't wait 11 months like I did. And this is what sits with you after the screen goes dark. Every act of care she performed was an act of control. Updating his phone, charging it overnight, handing it back each morning with a smile. None of it was love. She built an entire surveillance infrastructure 3 months into a relationship with zero conflict. Before the first fight, before any reason to doubt, she was already watching everything. And when it all collapsed, she did not apologize. She weaponized victimhood, a fabricated ex, invented trauma, rehearsed tears, all designed to make him feel guilty for having boundaries. The scariest people are never the ones who look dangerous. They are the ones who look like they are taking care of you. One comment on this last post stuck with me. Her ex did the same thing to her. Classic Darvo. She fabricated an entire abusive ex to preemptively justify doing the exact thing she accused a fictional person of. That's terrifying. And that is the last story for today.